morning, boys and girls. I like the way some of you are sitting on your bottom and your hands are in your lap and you're not talking. Now you need to check yourself because this is what you need to look like, boys and girls. When you come in the computer lab, you need to be sitting like this. You see that? See how he's on his bottom and his hands are in his lap? Do not sit like this. On your knees? No. Do not sit like this. On your knees, do not sit like that. We sit like this, on our bottoms with our hands in our lap. That's the proper way to sit in the computer lab. And you're going to learn lots of things this year. You're going to learn about the keyboard. This is a keyboard, and it's not the kind of keys like you open the door of the car with keys. Keys on a computer are actually buttons. You see all the buttons on here? And the buttons have numbers, and they have letters, and they have other symbols that you'll be learning about. Your computer also will have a mouse, and on that mouse I put a yellow dot, and your right finger will click on this yellow dot when we start next week. When we sit at the computers, you have your headphones. Boys and girls, it's very, very important that you do not put these wires in your mouth. Number one, they have nasty germs. Number two, if you put them in your mouth and you might chew on it, you're going to break it. And I don't think your parents want to pay $25 to replace those headphones. So if you see somebody chewing on a wire, you need to tell them, remember, don't chew on the wires. Don't put the wires in your mouth. Can you remember that? Then, when it's time to go, you're going to push your chair in like this. See how it's all the way in? Do not leave it out like this. See how that's sticking out? You need to push it in. And then you're going to stand in front of your chair and look for your teacher, and do not stand on these wheels. I see lots of kids standing on these legs and these wheels. That's very dangerous. Do not do that. Do you all understand? So next week you're going to be learning how to point and click. You're also going to learn how to click and drag, and you're also going to learn how to navigate a website. And what that means is you're going to be opening games up and learning how to use them and use them to be better at reading and math and all kinds of things. Thank you, boys and girls. Most of you came in really, really nicely, and you sat on your bottoms, and you have your hands in your lap, and you're not talking. So let's repeat the rules. Sit on my bottom, hands in my lap, no talking. Now last week, who remembers what we did? What did we do in here last week? We were popping bubbles. So last week's objective was point and click. And you popped, 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 click, click, click. You also learned how to open the game by clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that? And you learned how to close the game by doing what? Huh? The red dot. Everybody put up your hands and say stop. Stop. Red dot. Stop. And I just want to remind you that the red dot is exactly like a traffic light. See the red dot here in the corner? Red, yellow, green. Now look at the traffic light. Red, yellow, green. So you know that when your parents are driving and it's red light, it means to what? Stop. And it looks just like we see up here, only sideways. So the red dot, watch me. See how I put my pointer arrow on there? See this arrow? You just put it on there, not down here, not over there, but right on the dot, and that's how you exit, by clicking on it. So this week we're going to learn how to point, click, drag, and drop. And we're going to do that by building a house. So I want everybody to point with their pointer finger and look at this arrow. Kind of looks like a fly. And you're going to pretend that you're moving your mouse, and sometimes you have to pick up your mouse like this and scoot that pointer and point to that house. Can everybody point to that house? Now I want you to use your pointer finger and click 3 or 4, maybe 5 times to open it. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should open. There it goes. Sometimes you open more than one window, and all you have to do is click on the red dot to get rid of one of the windows. Now I'm going to stretch this by grabbing the corner, and we see an empty house. Over here to the side, now ignore these commercials and advertisements on the side. Don't click on those. We only want to click on the stuff we need to learn. And you will see all these little items on the side. I like to think of them as menu items. Like when you go to this restaurant, boys and girls, and you look at the menu, you get to choose what you want to eat. Now this kind of menu doesn't have food, but you get to choose what you want to do. So let's everybody look up here with your eyes on the screen and your hands in your lap, not touching anybody, eyes up here. And we're going to look at the first one. It's red and you can't read it. Maybe 1 or 2 of you can, but it says siding. So we click on siding and we see bricks and stripes and colors. So if I click on the first one, look, it changes the siding of my house. Look how I can make different houses just by clicking on the siding. Then under that, who can guess what that symbol means? What else goes on a house? Yes, a roof. Look at the different roofs. Oh, now here's where you learn to click, drag, and drop. Everybody point to the first roof. Now on your mouse, you see that yellow dot? You're going to hold it this time. You're not going to click it. Click is when you bounce your finger and lift it up. Watch my finger. I'm actually going to hold it on the yellow. See that? Am I letting go of the yellow? I want your finger to go down and pretend in the air that you're holding onto the yellow. And then we're going to drag our mouse. See how I'm dragging my mouse? And drag it into that. Now you're going to drop it by letting go of your finger. Ready? Let go. So that's called a click. And you hold the click down. Then you drag it. Then you let go and drop it. But what if you don't like that one? Well, we click, drag, and drop it back. Everybody, let's try that with the next roof. Point. Click. Now hold that clicker point, hold that clicker, that yellow dot, hold it down. Look at my finger. Drag it. Do you see how I'm dragging my mouse across? And now I'm going to let go. Look at my finger. Click, drag, and drop. Okay, let's try that with each roof. I want you to point, click, drag, and drop by letting go of your finger. Remember, you have to hold this yellow dot down on your mouse. Now let's try the next one. Everybody, click, hold your finger down, drag, let go. Drag it back. Next one, click, drag, and drop. Let go. Next one, click, drag, and drop. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the first one because it matches and I like to match. What do you think this is going to be, this symbol? Oh, you guys are so smart. This is like the smartest kindergarten class. Now, you can click, drag, and drop and try this window. If you don't like it, try this one. Just try them out. When you get to the computer, you can choose the one that you want. Yeah, I kind of like this one. No, this one. It's kind of fancy. And I think I'll put 2 of them. And then I put this one up in the attic. It's an attic window. Now, what do you think this one's going to be? Doors. You guys are so smart. Click, drag, and drop. Now, this door has steps. Do you see the steps? And this one's kind of fancy and pointed, and it matches my windows. So I might keep that one. This one's a red door. Yeah, I'm going to keep this door. What do you think this one is right here? It goes on the top of a house. A chimney. I know not many of us have chimneys. But if you remember, some of you, Santa Claus at Christmas time, he comes down the chimney.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put our chimney up.
I like that one too.
You like that one? Well, you can put the one you like. All right, what do you think this is?
A tree.
Plants and trees and bushes. So here's a tree here, here's a tree there, and here's a bush there, and another bush there, and another tree here. So then we can go on below that. What do you think that is? Fences. Yes, there's a yellow fence, a white fence, and a bigger, rounder yellow type fence. I don't know. Maybe this one. Because my windows have kind of skinny bars on them, so this kind of goes with everything. All right. Oh, well, let's see what else there is. Oh, we have a moon. We have a street lamp. We have the sun. Oh, and a mailbox. Wow. When you're done, boys and girls, then you get to make another one. You're going to make like 2 or 3. Let's make 3 houses. And then you can go back to your bubble game that we had last week. So in order to get back to the beginning, boys and girls, I want everybody to point down here at the bottom. See where the street lamp is? And we see these buttons down here. Those are more menu buttons. Boys and girls, look up here and point. Look up here and point. This one's kind of a round circle arrow. I need to see everybody pointing to that circle arrow at the very, very bottom, right here. See how it looks like an arrow in a circle? Okay, everybody click with their finger in the air. Click. Click again. Click again 2 times. Now we see the circle arrow again. Everybody point to it and click 1, 2. Oh, look. We have a new house ready to decorate. This time you can use a different color than you used last time. Okay? And how many houses did I tell you to make? 3 houses. You're good listeners. So I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to just pretend that I made this house. That's my second house. And then I'm going to do what? What do we call this?
The little circle.
It's like a curly arrow. Can you say that? Everybody point and click on the curly arrow. There, and point and click on the curly arrow. That lets us start over. All right, what do we do after we do 3 houses?
We go back to our
The bubble game. How do I get back to the bubble game?
exit.
How do I do that?
You go to the red button.
The red button. Everybody remember stop red dot from last week? Everybody point to that red dot. And we're going to pop it. Ready? Point. 1, 2, 3, and pop it. Now we go back to last week's game and we click on that 5 times. Ready? Point. Bring your arrow and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can have fun doing this. And we did this last week, remember?
Yeah.
But that's what you do after making how many houses?
3.
And then when it's time to go, what do we do?
Exit. And stand in front of your chair and push it over.
Oh, you're so smart. Yes, we exit by red dotting, and then she said we push in our chairs, we put up our headphones, and then we stand in front of our chair like this, straight and tall with our hands at our sides. Or in front. And yes, you will get a sticker if you do that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, listen. We're going to walk very slowly and very quietly to our computer. And remember how to wake it up? You touch that little space bar and you say, "Wake up, computer." Remember that? Okay. The space bar, all you have to do is touch the space bar 1 time. This long space bar. And look, wake up, computer, and it wakes up. Then you can look for the house game. Build a house. Everybody point to build a house. Right here. Okay, so let's walk slowly and quietly and find the house and make 3 houses. And then go to the bubble game. Walk slowly and quietly. Girls, let's go over our rules when we are in the computer lab. We have our hands in our lap. We're sitting flat on our bottom. We're not sitting on our knees or our feet. And we're not talking, ladies, gentlemen. And our eyes are up here on the front board. They're not on our friends or our shoes or looking around the room at things. We are looking straight at the board. So, we are not starting programs today like iStation or iReady or ST Math. We are going to do a review of the keyboard and the rules. The rules to start out with, of course, is to be very quiet because we don't want to disturb our other students when they're concentrating. We also do not chew on the headphone wires, even second graders. I mean, I see kindergartens do it in first grade, but second graders, I've even seen them chewing on the headphone wires. Please don't put them in your mouth. And please don't pull on the keyboard, you know, the keys. Don't try to mess with them. We had children last year taking keys off the keyboard, and that's very bad. If we see you destroying school property, your parents will pay for it. And do you think your parents want to pay for that? No. So if you see someone destroying school property, please let me know. That's not tattling. That's doing the right thing. Can you remember that? Okay, today we are going to go over keyboarding. And we're going to click here on ABC. It's got all those wonderful colors. It's a tree-looking thing. Sometimes it looks like balls or balloons, but we click on that. And when you click on it at your computer, it'll probably pull up Kinder. See how Kinder has a K? You're not Kinder. So you will go to the grade you're in. If you're a first grader, you're going to click on grade 1. If you're in second grade, you're going to click on grade 2. Very good. So let's go to grade 2 since that's who you are today. If we were first grade, you'd click on 1. So let's go to grade 2. And you're going to see ABCs, numbers, holidays, strategy, and skills. Skills is like learning how to drag and drop, or in this case, using the keyboard and learning how to find your letters on the keyboard. So everyone point to the purple. Now remember, in case some of you forgot, when you want to open the game, you have to click on it like 2 or 3 times. 1, 2, 3, using your left finger on the mouse. If you don't know your left finger, I have put a yellow dot on the mouse, and you should be able to click on that. So here we're going to click on the purple skills, and this is a menu, boys and girls. How many of you go to the restaurant and you order from a menu, and that menu tells you what you can order, like spaghetti or pizza or hamburgers, right? So this menu, boys and girls, instead of telling you what kind of food to eat, it's telling you what kind of games you can play. So we're not going to do letters or numbers or holiday or strategy. We're going to go to skills. Point to the purple and say skills.
Skills.
And there's all kinds of skills. There's the snowball and painting, and here's a keyboard game that's fun. There's a snowman game that's fun. But what we're going to do is there's cup stacking right here. Point to those yellow, red, and blue cups. Say cup stacking keyboarding.
Cup stacking keyboarding.
Click. Let it open up. Wait.
They wanna play it?
Yes, it loaded. So now we're going to go to this arrow. Point to the arrow. Click in the air with your finger while I click the mouse with mine.
Cup stacking.
Down here, does anyone know what that says?
Start.
Start the game. Instructions.
Stack the cups by typing the cups with the white letters. There's no rush, but we are keeping track of time if you want to go fast.
So, only when the letters are white. See how those are white? That's not white, but that one is. So let's click on start. And what letter is white?
D.
The D. So look at this keyboard that I'm holding up. I'm going to look for the letter D because they're not in ABC order. You have to look for your letters. And they're right here. Do you see that? I'm going to click on the D. There, look what happened. Now what letter am I going to click on?
Y.
So I'm going to look. There's my Y right here under the number 6 and 7. So that's going to help you learn your keyboards. And what letter?
N, Q, L, P, H, C, W, E, N, D, F, G, Y,
Now notice at the top, the time is ticking, so I'm going to go as quickly as I can.
Z, E, F, H, C, W, N, Q, L, P.
Okay, you don't have to say them now. I'm going to just type quickly so I can show you what happens at the end of the game. I'm a quick typer because I learned my letters on the keyboard when I was in 7th grade. I took typing class. I can even do it without looking. Watch my eyes. I'm not even looking at the keyboard. But you'll need to learn to look at the keyboard until you know how to find these by memory. Sometimes you'll make a boo-boo and it'll make a weird sound like that because I'm typing too fast.
You need to go 100 seconds.
96 seconds so far it's taken me.
Who good in this game?
Well, that's because I've been typing for a long, long time. You'll get good at typing. If you practice this game, you'll get really good. 115 seconds. Yay! Do you see the 115 right here?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You're not racing against each other. Don't say, oh, I beat you. You took 200 seconds and I only took 20. No, don't do that. What you want to do is beat yourself. So you're going to go here where it says, play again. And this time I want to see if I can do it in less than 115 seconds. Maybe I can do it in 100 seconds. Maybe I can do it in 75 seconds. So I want you to play this game 3 times. How many times?
3.
Then when you're done playing it 3 times, and hopefully you'll get, and you can tell me later what your seconds are. You can say, Miss Lopez, I went from 300 seconds to 100 seconds. You can tell me that later. So then you go back to grade 2 or 1 if you're in 1st grade, or K if you're in kinder, and you're going to go to the purple. Everybody goes to purple and find some other game that you like, okay? There's lots of typing games. There's Typing Rocket Junior, there's Keyboard Invasion, Keyboard Challenge. There's lots of keyboard games as well as some other games. Now, at the end, when it's time to go, who remembers what we do? Yes, sir.
You log out, you press the red button, you shave up all headphones, and you put in my shirt.
Yes, what is your name?
Oh,
Elias
yes.
has it all. We go up here to the red dot. Can you guys put your hands up in the air like you're stopping something and say stop?
Stop.
Red dot.
Red dot.
But I'm going to show you a secret. You can do that, or, boys and girls, watch this. I'm going to show you a secret. On your keyboard, you have, it's different than the white keyboards, the matte keyboards that we had last year. Let me open this up. Oh, come on, open. It's not opening. Well, on your keyboard, you're going to see, there it is. You're going to see this flag-looking thing. It kind of looks like a checkerboard almost. See that right here?
Or dice.
Last year, remember, it was the curly. On the black keyboard, it's a flag-looking 4 square. Say 4 square. And then you're going to hold that down with 1 finger. Everybody put your finger in the air. Pretend you're holding that little 4 square. Now take your other hand and take your finger and pretend you're tapping the Q. Okay? So it's the 4 square, this one, and it's the Q. Remember last year it was curly Q? This year it's 4 square Q. Let me make this bigger. So 1 finger goes here, hold it down, don't let go, in the air, and the other finger taps the Q. So I want everybody to say, hold the 4 square,
Hold the 4 square.
tap the Q.
Tap the cue.
Again, hold the four square,
Hold the four square.
tap the cue.
Tap the cue.
And this is what it's going to do. Did you see that? That's a little bit faster than the red dot, but you can do either one. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then, just like Elias said, he said log out, but what that is that's quitting the game. After you quit the game, you push in your chair, you put up your headphone, and you stand in front of your chair. Boys and girls, do we stand on the wheels? No, I see kids doing that. That's very dangerous. And one final thing, do not run in this room. It's dangerous. And please do not talk to one another because you're disturbing concentration. And I like the way you raised your hand. Always raise your hand when you have a question. Yes, ma'am.
I saw a 4-year-old riding a bicycle on the road. He almost got run over. So then I stopped the truck.
Oh.
And then I helped him get up.
Yes, if we come to the end of class and someone doesn't know how to do the four square cue or doesn't know how to stop red dot, please help each other. That's a great idea. Yes, sir.
Can we put a game back?
No, you may not play any other games than the games that I showed you. Now listen, you will have assigned seating, but I don't have your class list yet. That means you will sit at the same computer every time. But right now, you will just sit at any computer until I assign you one. Do you understand? Once I tell you what number you're at, you're going to stay at that number for the rest of the year unless we change you. Do not sit next to someone you're going to talk to. Sit next to someone that you can get some help from if you need help, or that you can help if you're a good helper. Do not talk, do not run. You are going to walk quietly and slowly and get on the ABC again and get started until it's time to quit. Let's walk quietly and slowly to the computers.